All right, well, thank you guys very much for coming out. I greatly appreciate it. The presentation we're going to be going over is Building Your Industrial Brand, the Power of LinkedIn. My name is Ryan Marks. I'm the president of USCO Cranes. We're an industrial crane manufacturer and runway builder. So these kind of tools kind of fit exactly to what we're looking for. We're looking for customers in the industrial space that have buildings that are looking to put cranes in them, new construction and those types of things. So these are some of the tools and some of the ways that I've set things up that have seemed to be quite successful for us. I'm also the CAIC membership chair. So if you guys like what you're hearing and this is something that makes sense, you can talk to me or talk to Beth or Ted when he gets here if you're interested in learning more about our organization. So we're also going to jump in and out of the presentation just a little bit. We're going to jump into LinkedIn and we're going to jump into some other things so we can kind of go over some of the concepts that we talk about. So a robust online presence is very crucial for success in today's industrial landscape. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network, and it provides a platform to connect with potential clients, build your brand awareness, and drive new business. This presentation is going to explore three critical strategies. First, we're going to talk about optimizing your own personal profile. Then we're going to talk about optimizing your company's profile. And then finally, we're going to talk about the LinkedIn Ads Network and how you can use paid-for ads to get out to other people as well that you're looking to connect with. So a little bit about the LinkedIn platform. It has over 830 million users and focuses purely on professional networking. This is not like Facebook or Instagram where you go and see what the latest, hottest trend is, or you're going with your family or things like this. This is geared towards a professional and a work type environment. It offers an unmatched access to a vast pool of potential clients in the industrial sector and other sectors as well. Like I said, 830 million users that are all working or trying to work or those kind of things. 40% of the users hold decision-making power. The platform provides a direct line to those who can actually influence purchasing decisions. And you can actually target those people directly, which is a great tool. Additionally, its robust targeting capabilities allows you to reach these specific audiences and ensure that your message is resonating with the right professionals that you're trying to get in touch with. So before diving into optimizing your company's presence on LinkedIn, we first have to look at the importance of your own personal profile. This is a place where you get to show your professionalism and your expertise in whatever it is that you do. Not just what your company does, but what you do. So if you're in human resources, you get to put that focus on human resources. If you're in manufacturing and you're an engineer, you want to put that focus as an engineer. If you're the president of a company, you want to put those types of focuses on it. If you're a consultant, all those things. So this allows you to essentially put out there what it is that you want people to see when they initially come to find you. Your personal profile is like a digital handshake on LinkedIn, right? This is your introduction to whoever's looking on there. And you want to create a strong first impression using a very professional headshot and crafting a compelling headline that in a few words kind of summarizes what your value proposition is, and then also kind of puts a little bit out there of why you're important in the industry or what you bring to the table, essentially, right? In the profile summary, you want to detail your skills, what your expertise is, what you're good at. Think of it almost like a resume, right? If you were putting a resume out there, what are the things that you would want to include in that resume? You also want to utilize things like keywords, because when you do searches in there, this is a spot that picks up those specific keywords, so when people are searching certain things, you'll pop up based off of those keywords. And again, don't hesitate to be a little boastful on this, right? You want to be able to put on your achievements, your awards, what makes you good at what you do. This is not like you're bragging, this is like you're sitting here going, why am I here? The last thing you want to make sure that you get on there is recommendations from colleagues, coworkers, and clients that you've worked with. There's a whole section for that, and that is a really good social proof builder that allows you to do that. So we're first going to jump out of here for just a second since we've kind of talked about that, and we're going to jump in, and I'm going to use my profile as an example, right? So I have a very professional headshot that was done to make sure that it looks like inviting, I'm smiling, I look like somebody who you might want to talk to, at least I think so. I've got a banner that basically is exactly what we do, what we build. So you either want this, if it's specific to you, you want your banner to be that, or if it's something with your company, you want it to be more geared towards that. If you look at my headline, it says exactly what my process is, raising the standards of excellence in the overhead crane industry through innovation, teamwork, integrity, and lifting customer. So I'm kind of giving you my tagline, right? This is what I'm here to do. So if you're in the overhead crane space, you're looking for an overhead crane, if you're looking for somebody who's into innovation and automation and those kind of things, we're kind of your people. And as you go down, you get an about page. And my about basically is if somebody was going to introduce me to an audience or to somebody else, how would that look? What would they say? What would I want them to say? So if I was doing another presentation in front of a whole bunch of industry peers, how would somebody introduce me? That's essentially how you want to formulate your about page. Then there's a featured section. This is going to be like your most successful posts, different things that you follow. So obviously you guys can see this presentation came up quite a bit. And then you have an experience section, all right? So this is everything from basically when you got out of college or that's relevant that you want to make sure you put in there, that you show that you have a history of what you've been doing, how you've been advancing in your career, those types of things. You have an education section. Any license or certification, so if you're in a field where that's very important, they have an area for you to put that right in so when people are looking at your profile, they can see what it is that you do. This is a really cool section of the projects because you can put in like specific projects that you've worked in and comments from other people to kind of show how you've been successful in your industry. People can nominate you for different skills, and you can nominate other people. And then here's that recommendation section. So I have several different recommendations, both from people that have worked for me, people that I've done work with, people that we've done projects with. So again, what it does is that really kind of cements that, okay, this person does actually know what they're talking about and what they're doing. And then finally, there is a publication section. So if you've ever been publicized or you have any articles about you out there, you should really put them in here as well, because it shows more of what your knowledge is, your expertise, those types of things. And then you can also do organizations. I put in that I'm a deacon at my church and that I'm the membership chair for CAIC. So those are some of the different things that you want to look at when you're building out your profile, which is a lot different from Facebook, which is, whether you're married and where you went to school and what friends you have. And, I like to play golf. That's kind of your about page and talking about your kids and stuff. So it's a little bit of a different process. I went back to the beginning. Wasn't expecting that. So this kind of goes into, now we've got that personal page. What are we supposed to be doing on that personal page, right? So we'd be actively sharing valuable content is an excellent way to position yourself as a thought leader and somebody who knows the space very well that you're in. You want to share news articles, blog posts, company news, different types of trends that are going on in your industry, things that you think that people are really going to look at and go, okay, I'm in this space and this makes sense, that type of thing. You also want to participate in different groups. So there's probably 4 or 5 different industry groups that I'm in that have active conversations going on all the time. And the nice thing is when new people come into that group, if you're being an active participant in those groups, then they find you easier through that. Now, in the age that we live in right now, we have some really cool marketing tools that we can use so that we don't have to spend hours on end. Because what I just explained, you guys just went, I don't have time in the day to do this, right? And that's kind of what I basically expect from a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of different things with the introduction of Gen AI and LLMs where they're building out programs, and we're going to go into some of them, some of the ones that I use. We're going to go into some of them a little later, but this is just kind of an example. So AI and automation can be a very, very powerful tool for streamlining content creation and optimizing your performance. Utilizing writing assistants like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude are different things that for free you can sit there and type in, write me a blog post about concrete or about this or about that or best HR practices or anything in your industry, and give it some details, and it will write you, say it is for LinkedIn social media, it will write it for LinkedIn social media, the character account, everything you need. And my recommendation is don't just use that and put it in and go, right? Because you can kind of tell the grammar's a little off, some other things, but you want to use that as like your springboard. Then you want to go in and you want to tailor it a little bit. Spend 2 or 3 minutes, tailor it a little bit, make sure the grammar looks good and stuff, and then put it in. And that's kind of how you want to use those tools, so you're still putting your own personal kind of touch on that. You've got other things on there too, because you also want to leverage content calendars. So what you can do is you can spend an hour a month, create, let's say you're going to post on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10:30 and one other day at 2:30, right? You can go in, spend an hour in the beginning of the month, create all these different posts that won't take you that long. You know, you're looking at maybe 15 posts or something, less than that actually, probably 12 posts. And essentially you can use these tools like Hootsuite and Buffer and Taplio, which is the one that we're going to get into later, where you can schedule all that stuff. So it'll instantly post for you when you want it to post. It'll even tell you when it's collected comments and those types of things, so you can react to those posts. So that's very valuable information that you can implement also using AI-powered analytic tools. So you can use different things like BuzzSumo and BrandWatch, and essentially what that does is that says, okay, here's your LinkedIn profile compared to other people in your industry in your similar position. How do you rank up? Are you getting more followers? Are they getting more followers? Are your post impressions better? Are their post impressions better? And then it'll give you insight and tips and tools on how to increase your throughput, I guess you'd say, versus what the industry standard is. You can also utilize things like A and B, no, I didn't mean to go back. You can also utilize things like A and B testing on platforms like Optimizely and Google Optimize. So this will optimize for you headlines and the body and those types of things to go, okay, what would people think of this one versus this one? So there's different ways that you can do that, especially when you're looking at this from a marketing perspective. So essentially you're using a lot of the SEO tactics that you use, you're using them now in a social media type of way, right? Is essentially what we're trying to do. Because the whole idea of all this is not just reaching the right audience, but reaching the right audience at the right time, right? We don't want these posts going on a Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody's going to be looking at them. We want to make sure that these are specific to when we want them and when we need them. So there's key differences between a personal profile and between a company page to maximize your marketing efforts. Your personal profile, like I said, it kind of serves as your individual brand, right? Like what you bring to the table, what you bring to your company's table, those kind of things. When we talk about our company page, now we're talking about how our company is being portrayed out there on LinkedIn and to potential clients, customers, talent, people that might want to come work for that company, those kind of things. So now we want to design this more as like a brand identity, and we want to service a broader audience. So we're going to do those types of things and now share content that are product updates, case studies. Oh, go ahead, Al.
When you look at your own personal page and you got your company page,
yeah.
Especially in your case, like you're the president of the company, how do you link them, or is there a connection between them, or is it you trying to drive people to that page? I mean.
So I do two different things personally, right? Because there is a repost feature on LinkedIn. So you can repost, I can repost, because I'm an administrator on that company page, I can repost articles directly to the company page.
But your articles from your.
Right. Or my employees. So my employees have stuff where they'll put an article out there on their own page, and I go, hey, that's a great picture of a crane. That should be on our company page too. So I'll sit there and repost that to the company page as well. So the other thing we're going to talk about here in a minute is, okay, we've got somebody who's starting to get followers, and they've got 500 followers, and they got 1,000 followers, but the company page only has 300. Well, that's not what we want, right? We want the company page to have a whole bunch of followers. So we're going to talk about a way, once we go into the company page look, on how there's ways to actually optimize and be able to gain followers every month for the company page as well, okay? And then the other nice thing about the company page, when we'll get into that too, is you can have multiple people in your company be able to manage that page. So in other words, you don't have to be the only administrator on there who's able to put stuff on there. You can have as many people as you want. So if you have a marketing department already, or if you have somebody who kind of does that for you, they can manage that as well. Where your personal profile, that's just you. So here's the things that we want for a very strong company page. We want brand awareness and visibility. We want a dedicated company page that allows you to establish a robust online presence. And we do this by constantly sharing content that is valuable to the people that are coming to that page. They want to learn about your products. They want to learn about what you're doing. They want to learn about your projects. They want to learn about why they should come work for your company. Those different types of things. Then what we want to do is we want to be a content hub for industry insights. So we don't want to just talk about the company and what we're doing the whole time. We want to be a thought leader and a content creator for the industry. So we want to sit there and put stuff out there. For me personally, overhead cranes, I want to put their stuff out there as what technology, what advancements, what innovation is going on in overhead cranes. What are people doing to make things more safe? Just from an industry perspective, not just our own company perspective. So we want to be more of a resource and a tool, and this kind of allows us to do that. You also want to use this as lead generation, right? Because the thing is we're able to target very specific audiences. So if your audience for sales is purchasing managers in industrial companies who have employees over 100 and work in the concrete space or work in the steel environment, we can target those actual specific positions in a geographic location. So if you sell all over the country, you can do that to all over the country. If you sell in the south side of Chicago, you can narrow that down to the south side of Chicago. So that's a very, very powerful tool with a tool that they have in there called Sales Navigator that allows you to specifically target those individuals that you're looking for. One of the other things that we can also do with this is employee advocacy. So I actually have a program at USCO that I put in about 3 years ago where we give a $5 Amazon gift card for every single post that meet the right guidelines to our employees when they do a post. And we pay them out once a quarter. So they have to send it to our HR manager so we see it. It has to meet the guidelines that we've laid out, but they get a $5 Amazon gift card for every single post that they do. Because you can ask your employees, hey, we want you to be active on this because we want our employees to show, how much they love the company and how they're doing in their own stuff and everything else. But let's just be honest, you have to incentivize them. And this has been great for us. We went from, other employee posts besides myself of maybe 1 or 2 every other week to I've got probably 15 guys that are posting every single day. And they're service guys who are taking pictures of cranes and taking pictures of the service jobs they're doing. They're internal people that are talking about different things of what's going on in the office. They're fabricators where they're doing pictures and little videos of what they're welding and that kind of thing. And that has been great because it's been a great reposter for me to be able to put on our company page and help drive that. And then also their followers, because once they start doing it, all of a sudden they're following other people and they're doing other things and that kind of stuff. But this was a good platform to kind of get that going. That has helped build our own follower base because now they see that coming through their followers' feeds because I've reposted that to our company stuff. And we've actually started to try doing that with the CAIC as well, and we've seen a real big boost in follower growth as well. Because you can put all the content out there you want in the world, but if you don't have followers, nobody's seeing the content, right? So you could spend all this money going, okay, we're going to hire a marketing person, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and you've got 300 followers on your page. You're not really hitting anybody. So you also have to focus. It's not like Google where you just pay the money and they just put it out there and everything else. You have to take the time to build that follower base on top of it. That is quite crucial. And then you could also use this as a recruitment tool, right? When you put job posts out there on Indeed and Monster and other things, you should have links in there back to your company page because they're going to look for it anyway. So you might as well just make it easy and have things on your company page from your employees that say, this is why this is a good place to work. This is why we enjoy this. This is why this is going on, that kind of stuff. Because people are going to research you through LinkedIn. And if you don't have a company page on LinkedIn, they're going to notice that too. Because I've had people mention that plenty of times before. Oh, yeah, sure, correct.
So, personal page, you can have a paid account or a non-paid account.
Right.
Right? Gives you different accesses, right?
Right, it's like $19 a month if you want to do the paid, and then you get Sales Navigator.
Does that work for the business account too? Is there like a paid?
That's just free.
That's just free?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, because the government figure, I'm thinking, or is there an option to pay to get, but so all these things are pretty much free for a business account?
Right, exactly. So if your company page, you claim, so that's what we're going to kind of talk about right now, right? The first thing that you should do, if you guys have not done this, is claim your company page. Because you might already have a company page out there that has not been claimed, because LinkedIn does that and just kind of builds them out on top of it. So you want to claim your company page, or you want to create your company page. The next thing you want to do is you want to optimize your page. Think about this, again, as like your digital storefront, right? So if you guys had your factory or you had a retail store, that kind of stuff, this is essentially your retail store or the outside of what your factory looks like, and this is the presence that you want people to see when they come to find you, right? So you want to upload a very professional company logo. You want a captivating banner image that really captures what it is that your company does or your company is about. You want to craft a very compelling headline as to what it is your company does and why people should use you, buy from you, work for you, whatever your goal is for that. You also want to have a very good value proposition. Now, I'm sure a lot of people in here already have a mission statement, already have a value proposition, already have a code of ethics and things like that and stuff that they do in their own companies. This is where you put that. You just take your mission statement, you take your value proposition, and you put that right on LinkedIn. Because you're doing that with your people
You guys all
already.
need to network
So
and
why
meet
not
everybody.
show the rest
Have
of the
fun.
world what it is that your company's about and what they care about and how they act, right? You also want to showcase your expertise. And this is beyond just describing what your company does, right? You want to do that for sure, but you want to show why you are as good as what you do in your space, right? Because there's probably plenty of other companies that do what you do, but why should they work with you? What makes you specific to why they should work with you? And then we're also going to talk about building your network, okay? There's ways with your company page that LinkedIn gives you. They give you 250 essentially reach outs per month for a primary account, for your own account, and then for all of your employees, they give 50. So if your employees go to, or actually anybody visiting, if they go to your page, there is a section on there where they can say, share this page, and it brings up their contacts, and they can click on and share that page in an in-mail to all of those people as well. And then content is king, right? LinkedIn has probably, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 million different posts a day. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with it. You want to stay in front of it. You don't want to be sitting there and going, well, I did a post this month. Nothing's getting seen. You're not actually making an active effort. You want to do a minimum of 3 posts per week. And you want to comment on at least that many, if not more posts. Because it's almost just as important, not the like, but it's almost just as important that you make comments on the people that you're following and the people that you like their posts and that kind of thing. And you can make those comments both as an individual and as the company. So if you have things out there that, hey, my company should be responding to this because it makes sense for either an industry type thing or a customer that you're trying to get in front of or those types of things, you want to comment on what they're doing. You want to like it too, but the comments are really what's key. And then you want to track and analyze. And there's some really cool tools that LinkedIn has in their company section, which we're going to go in the CAICs here in just a second, where it actually shows you how many followers have I had this month. Am I trending up? Am I trending down? How many posts have I had? What kind of action am I getting on those posts? So just like an AdWords campaign for Google or Bing or anything else, it allows you to also do that in LinkedIn to see how active you're being. And to tell you the truth, I probably spend more time on the LinkedIn stuff than I do on the Google stuff, just because of the fact that it's so, I guess, targeted at the people that we're going after. It's not just the World Wide Web. It is targeted after what it is that we're going after.
Right.
Yeah.
So, question about that. If I were to type in like a Google question, cranes in Chicago, would it pull your guys' LinkedIn page or you as LinkedIn in one of those top 5, whatever references?
Not unless you type LinkedIn.
Okay.
If you typed LinkedIn, it would. Otherwise, it's going to default to a website.
Gotcha.
It's not going to default to a social profile.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they do that on purpose. Like Google does it on purpose, Bing does it on purpose, because they're trying to keep the traffic in their search results and that kind of thing. So I'm going to jump out of here real quick, and I'm going to go to the CIEC's page. And then I'm going to try and figure out how to go back into that without going back to the beginning of the presentation. Okay, so Marcellus has done a very, very good job with the CAIC's page. They've got a logo that is exactly what their logo is. They've got a beautiful banner that expands on that and shows what they're looking at. Their headline is actually very much lacking. Connecting industry to growth since 1967. There should be a lot more there. That's not really, that's a value proposition, but that's not really a grabber, right? That's not going to sit there and make me go, okay, why should I look more into this organization? I mean, we're a job creator. We're assistance on dollars, on grants, on education. There's all these different things that we do. Sustainability, working with Chicago, all these different things that we do. You don't get that from that. That's what we want to get that from that, right? The about is pretty good, but we're going to want to expand on that, right? Because again, like I said, if somebody was introducing the CAIC to the rest of the world, or in an auditorium and that kind of stuff, when somebody went up to that podium and said, "I'm going to bring the CAIC on here in a minute," and did that introduction to them, right? What would they say? That's what we're thinking about when we're thinking about that section there. The featured section is good. That was the last presentation that we had. You can see I was reposting the heck out of this for a while. We show upcoming events. That's very good. We need more connections. Right now, it looks like there's 3 people that work for the CAIC. I think we're up to over 30. We should have 30 people or 25 people in those connections just from the CAIC, because it shows that we're a bigger organization and that we can do more. Since we're on the profile page, it gives us some insights as to where we've been. So if we go into the administration side of things, which I'm on the member side of things, I got to go back in the administration side of things. Hold on one second. That's me. All right, I was there a second ago, and I don't remember how to get back there. No, I got to go back to home. So if I go into analytics and I go to visitors, it's going to pop up here. Used to be in the top, now it's on the bottom. See where it says invite connections? You have this on your personal one. You also have this on a company one. So you get 250 credits every single month to basically just send a free in-mail to people, to your connection saying, hey, follow our page. Please follow our page, right? I have done this for the last 2 years with the USGO's page, and we have gone from 450 followers to we're up almost at 2,700. So it works. It takes time, but it works. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go off of my stuff. So these are all my contacts that I can send this to. I can send a CAIC invite out to. So this is something like other people in your organization who are administrators on there should do that. And for a short period of time, you should make other people who have good connections that you want an administrator on your page, at least for a short period of time, to try and get with all their contacts and stuff too. So we've done that as well. I got several sales guys. I've got several office people. I've got my plant manager. They have access to our page at periods of time, and we use their connections to try and reach out past what my network is, right? So we really need Ted to jump on there. But this also shows like visitor highlights, right? So it shows the different metrics and the things of going on of have you had more people coming, less people coming, where are they coming from? So most of ours for CIC are coming from business development. We've got some human resources, we've got some accounting. So it actually shows you who's looking at your page, right? So if you've got the right audience looking at your page, well then good for you, that's awesome. If you don't have the right audience looking at your page, what are you doing wrong? What do we need to make sure that we're doing the right way here? Hey, that worked. Okay, so this goes back a little more into that engagement from a company standpoint, right? We want to publish regular updates. We want to personally publish updates, but we want to regularly update from the company page as well. Again, I would probably almost say that you want more updates coming from the company page than you do from your own personal. And it's really easy to do if you have other employees that are on there because you can use that repost feature, right? That's very helpful. You want to respond to comments and messages as the company. So if you have a marketing department, if you have somebody who does that, you want them to be responding as the company to those different types of things. You want to participate in industry discussions. So you want to find people in your same industry, in the things that you do, and participate as the company. This is what we do. This is why it's successful, those types of things. On your company page, you want to share employee success stories. So if you had a really good project and you do a thing where you manufacture CNC machines and you put a great one in, you want to highlight that salesperson and that customer, and this is what we do and this is how we did it with pictures and everything else. If you're a banker and you just closed a great deal with a customer, you want to highlight that type of stuff. If you're a school and you want to sit there and go, hey, we got this awesome apprenticeship program and stuff, and Trish was the one that worked on it, and that kind of thing. You want to highlight them in that. You want to show them that your company is not an island. You want to show them that your company is a network of qualified people, because that's really going to drive more people to what it is that you've got going on. And then the other thing that you can do too is you can run polls and Q&A sessions through your company page. So let's say you just wanted to ask all of the people that are followers of your company page of, hey, we're thinking about doing this. What are your guys' thoughts? You can use that as feedback and as surveys through the LinkedIn platform instead of just going to SurveyMonkey or MailChimp and doing doing more of a targeted look with the LinkedIn platform versus just doing a mailing list blast type thing. Okay, so now we're going to get into a little more specific on LinkedIn ads, okay? This is going to be very similar to if you have any SEO experience with Google or Bing or any of those types of things. But LinkedIn has some things that allows you to do that those others don't allow you to do, which to me makes a lot of sense. Plus, the cost is a lot less because it's not as wide of a platform, right? You're not going out to the whole World Wide Web. But the way you can target makes it really, really good for local campaigns. So it allows you to reach the most relevant audience in a vast industrial scape. You can look at demographics. You can pinpoint specific professionals and jobs that you're looking for, industry affiliations, and even company sizes. So if you know you're looking for purchasing guys, but you basically typically sell to $100 million dollar companies, you're not looking for somebody who's got 10 employees. You're looking for somebody who's got 100 employees or 200 employees or 15 locations or whatever that might be. This allows us to do that. So what we're doing is with those dollars that we're spending, they're now very high value because they're getting directly to the audience that we're trying to get to. We're not wasting clicks and impressions and things on an audience that we don't want to get to. So they do this by a few different objectives and a few different ways to do it, right? So if your aim is to increase brand awareness and establishes your company as a leader, you can do that with a specific brand awareness campaign. If you're looking at trying to generate leads, they have specific leads campaigns that you can use. Maybe you just want to drive traffic to your website instead of just your company page. They have ways for that to just drive traffic to your company page. You also might be looking at something where you want people to request a demo or a sales call. They have different things for that that are specific for that. And then they also have things where if you're looking for people to download something, like let's say you did a white paper or you're looking for getting your brochure to them in a PDF format or whatnot, there's specific ad campaigns for that. And also, don't think that you just need to do one ad campaign and that's it. You can do a mixture of all these different things or a couple of these different things, and it will go out there based on the parameters that you set up, right? So we call that basically what are our goals. We want to define our goals before we go into that. Now, again, with the various different formats that we have different things of ways that we can go after that, right? You know how Google has either picture ads on certain websites, or they have just text ads, or they have interactive stuff, that kind of thing. LinkedIn has that same type of thing, right? Where a little video can pop up, and then they can watch that little video and then click, and then that's specifically your ad. It could be a picture. It could be a series of slides, and they click on the slides to see more, and that puts them into the ad and what you're trying to grab them for. It can just be text. It can be text that's inline in a post, and it can be text off to the side as well, based on what you feel makes sense for the most targeting. You can also use dynamic ads, where it analyzes using AI in the LinkedIn platform, where do we think this ad makes the most sense? So you have several different ways that you can do that. Now, an ad means nothing, and I mean nothing, if you don't have a good CTA. And a CTA stands for a call to action. If you just have an ad that says some information and that's it, but there's no call to action, do that as a post. Don't do that as an ad. What an ad's objective is to get them to click on something or download something or visit something else or go to your company page. You want them to do something. So what we're going to talk about right now is we're going to talk about the value and the different types of CTAs, call to actions, that we should have that are the most effective. So, clear call to actions offer several benefits. They increase conversions. So if we guide our audience to a specific action, they're going to take that action, right? So we want very clear and concise things of what we want them to do. Click here to get in touch with our sales team. A form pops up, they fill out their information, it goes directly to an email to a lead in your sales team, and they know they've got a sales lead. Click here to download our brochure. They click there, they download the brochure, You know they downloaded the brochure because that was a conversion, because they actually clicked the button. You have some details on who downloaded the brochure, so you can sit there and go, hey, I'm going to go after this person later or kick it as a sales lead to my sales team. Or it's just industry news. It's a white paper or something that somebody's in your industry or uses your industry that downloads something for free. But you're getting that analytical data on the background to be able to, again, go use that. We got a kid walking by? She's cute. Little dress on. But it allows you to, like I said, it allows you to get that analytical data that you can then use that and turn that into a sales lead. Focused audience engagement, right? Effective call to actions ensure your target understands the value proposition of what you're asking them to do next. So these are when you're coming up with these, if you decide to use these tools, these are the questions you want to ask yourself to be able to make sure that you're making good ones, right? And then finally, measurable results. We want to track all that. We want to track those clicks. We want to track those impressions. And again, when they click, we get more data. So we want them to click. So how do we create a good CTA? What are we looking for? First thing we're looking for is we're looking for action verbs. Click here. Button. Different things like that. We want those action verbs. Go to here to learn more. Learn more. We want those types of words that clearly communicate what the desired action is. Download now. You know, those types of things. I can't say that word. Be specific about what you want your users to do next. Don't just be generic. So if everybody's got learn more or download now or that kind of stuff, be a little more specific with it about exactly what it is that you're looking for and why you're looking them to do it. Create some urgency, right? That's a great sales tactic just in general. If you can create urgency, you're going to have more people that are going to click. You know, act now. This is going away soon. You know, industry sale, all different types of things you can sit there and go. You know, prices are going up. Click. You know, get in touch now. That kind of thing. Have you seen what steel prices are doing? Let's talk about this now. You know, that kind of thing. And then align it with your campaign goals. So if you're looking for leads, make sure that your call to action says what you're looking to do. If you're looking for brand awareness, make sure your call to action says, hey, check out this website or check out our website. You know, you want to make sure that what campaign you've set up, that call to action is specifically calling out. So LinkedIn has great, again, they've got multiple call to actions that we can choose from. They've got A/B testing. If you're not A/B testing, either in SEO, LinkedIn, or anything else you're doing it wrong. Because A/B testing is one of the things that you should do on just about everything. Because just because you like the ad or because you like the copy doesn't mean that's going to resonate for other people. And you want that data to be in place to go, okay, how am I more effective? I'm more effective when I say this. I'm more effective when I talk about this. I'm less effective when I talk about this. And you want to switch it up all the time. You don't want to sit there and run the same ad for a month. You want to switch it up every week, every couple weeks, and you want to put ads out there that are the same. You're looking for the same thing, you're just saying it in a different way. And remember those AI tools that I talked about earlier? You can easily use those AI tools to be able to come up with that. Matter of fact, they'll even come up with images for you and those types of things. So you don't have to sit there and go, all right, well, now I want to talk about this, but I don't know how I want to talk about this, and sit there in front of a computer for 20 minutes, not realizing what you do. You can go to ChatGPT and say, give me a different type of ad and just put in a couple keywords. This time, make it more dynamic. This time, make it so that a 5th grader can read it instead of an 8th grader. It will do those types of things. Translate it in Spanish. It'll translate it in Spanish. I mean, there's all different ways that you can use that to do your A/B testing that'll take you moments instead of taking you hours. So landing page optimization. This ensures that the landing page aligns with your ad message. Now, what we're talking about here is, let's say you have them go to a website, right? You don't want them to go to your home page. You want them to go to a specific landing page which was about that call to action. So if that call to action for me was single girder cranes, then I want them to go to the page that talks specifically about single girder cranes. If we're talking about the CAIC and they clicked on something for an event we have coming up, we don't want them to go to the home page. We want them to go to the specific thing where the register link is for that particular event that we're talking about. So don't just sit there and go home page or this or that or the other. Think about what your ad is about and then make sure where they're landing falls in line with what that ad is. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about tracking and analyzing results, right? Because we've got all this data, well, what do we do with it? It's just like we use KPIs in accounting or other types of things, right? We trend. We want to look at trends. So we want to look at how many followers did we gain in a month? How did we gain in 6 months? How did we gain this month versus that month? How many did we gain on this campaign versus this campaign? You want to trend that data. And the best way to trend that data is to capture it in something like LinkedIn or other types of programs you can do it in, but then throw it into an Excel sheet or a Google worksheet or something. Take that data of that time frame that you had and put it in something else so that you can track it over time and you can look at different summaries of what you've got and see how effective you're actually being. Because there's no point in spending money, in doing the other types of things that you're doing, spending your time and those kind of things if they're not working. And you're not going to know if they're working if you're not looking at the data and you're not analyzing it, right? So LinkedIn has some robust tools for doing that, but they're not going to track that data over time the way you can track that data over time in an Excel spreadsheet or a Google worksheet or those types of things, okay? Now, I kind of came up with a little bit in my head of a case study of a company that is looking for lead generation, all right? So let's say we've got a mid-size automation company, okay? And they've come up with a new set of tooling that is going to revolutionize the automotive industry, all right? So they want to come up with an ad that essentially achieves that goal of we've got a new tool and it's going to revolutionize the automotive industry. So their marketing department sits there and goes, okay, what's the best way to kind of do this? Well, first they're going to go on LinkedIn and they're going to go, okay, I want to specifically target automotive companies in the United States. I want to specifically target engineers. And I want to not target facility engineers or maintenance engineers. I want to strictly go to industrial engineers and design engineers and those kind of things. So you can even get that granular, all right? And then I want to do a campaign that is going to give them information about this new tooling. So I'm going to do a call to action that is essentially, we're going to come up with a white paper on this that says why this tooling is so amazing, and it's going to be attached to a brochure to show where they can get it. So I'm going to do this specific ad campaign to this specific audience. I'm going to do a white paper that shows why our tooling is going to improve their throughput, increase reliability, all the different things that it's going to do. And basically, my ad is going to say, free white paper on how this can improve your ROI in your manufacturing plant type thing or in your automotive plant. So I'm going to get that specific to what I want. And then I'm going to come up with 3 or 4 versions of that. All with the same white paper, all with the same download, but I'm going to come up with 3 or 4 versions that I'm going to test to see which ones are going to come out the best. And you'll be amazed what kind of response you will get with something like that. So, if we implement the strategies that we've outlined in this presentation, we can leverage the power of LinkedIn to achieve our industrial marketing goals, or marketing goals in general. We're going to build a strong brand presence. We are going to establish ourselves as thought leaders within our community, whatever community that might be, and industry. We're going to connect with key decision makers, and we're going to optimize our profiles and our company pages and our ads so that we're achieving that and drive sales and increase, we all make more money, right? That's the whole idea. So I've got some other things that we're going to go through. The presentation is over. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to show you guys some other AI tools that will help, okay? So This first one is LinkedIn profile feedback. So do any of you know your LinkedIn username? Okay, I'm going to show you how to get it. So who here has a LinkedIn page? All right, Ed, we'll use you. So Ed Garner. We're going to go to your page, and this is your name for it, right? So we're going to copy your link here. Oh, wait, didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, that professional headshot didn't really help.
Okay, so we're going to go back to your page. C. Now, this is a free tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to see, does Ed have a good profile page? Now, what this is going to do is this is going to sit here, and it's first going to craft him a new headline. So it says his current headline is SVP, which is a bit too generic. It doesn't fully encapsulate your extensive experience and capabilities. Your headline is the first thing people see and should summarize it. Use keywords. Here's an improved headline for your poet. Senior Vice President, Commercial Lending Specialist, 30 years plus in banking and finance. So it just did it for you. Write an engaging summary. Your current summary is rich in details, but lacks a personal touch. It also doesn't highlight your key achievements. Write a summary, a story. Here's a suggested summary. It does it all for you. You just copy what's in here, you make some changes of what you like, and boom.
Yeah, how'd you get to there again?
This is Taplio LinkedIn Profiles Optimizer.
Does it pay a fee for it?
No.
So it's a
Is it
different.
taplio.com?
Now that you pay a fee for, which I pay a fee for, it's like $500 a year, but this is totally free. So you can give this to every single one of your employees and go, hey, put your LinkedIn here. Let's see if you've got a great LinkedIn profile, right? So let's keep going down. Nail down your experience. Your experience is well detailed but could benefit from highlight key achievements or successful projects in each role. This gives potential employers an idea of what you've accomplished and what you can bring to your organization. Then it gives you tips for, your skills section is comprehensive, but it gives you all these different tips of what you can do in all these different things. So let's take somebody else. Who else has a LinkedIn?
Come on, I was a guinea pig, let's go. I'll be better.
We're not doing another baker. We got to decide. Al, you got one?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's do Al.
It's not gonna go well.
Oh, but somebody in your company, if somebody at Raffin is using LinkedIn, I don't know.
But we have, yeah.
So Al, the first thing you want to do is change your LinkedIn name to something better than LRaffin-222A14.
Sounds like my, secret agent.
Sounds like the Indiana Department of Corrections.
That's
Is
probably
your middle
closer
name
to it.
Jake?
So your current headline, owner, Raffin Construction Company, is simple and clear, but it does not fully convey your expertise or the value you can provide. So it says, how about experienced construction company owner, expert in pre-construction, value engineering, and it won't let me scroll over.
So is this like written by AI?
Yep.
Is that, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they know how to get to it.
Yeah, I'll give you guys the link. That's not a problem. But this is one of the simple tools that are out there that just, you know how much time this takes you? Oh, you put it in your profile and says, do this. Well, I like this, but I want to make it a little different.
Yeah.
Or I like this, I'm going to throw this in ChatGPT and let's just type in expand and more professional. It'll rewrite it to expand it and make it more professional.
Company profiles?
I don't know if it does company profiles. I've never tried that. Let's see.
You Raffin.
Do Raffin?
Take a picture of whatever comes up.
Well, I'm on Calumet's right now, but I got to view as a member. I don't know if it'll do company ones. We'll find out here in a second. See, now you guys can tell everybody else what they missed. No, it will not do company. It only does personal. Now, one of the other tools that I use this, which is called Taplio. Okay, so Taplio is really cool because it takes all those different AI tools, that scheduler, the engaging, the comments, everything in there, and it does it all essentially for me, right? So let's say this is my queue. Okay, these are the different posts. So my post tomorrow is going to be unleashing the power of underrunning crane runways. Then next Tuesday, I've got these lined up, and I haven't done May's yet, so I'm all the way through about April 30th, which this is, you guys are going to really like this one. Why golf courses have 18 holes is a really good one. You're going to like that one on April 30th. I will sit down for 45 minutes, and I will bang out the entire month of May. And this is how I'm going to do it, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to go, write a post about the value of single girder cranes, or, you know, we'll make it even more generic. Write a post about the value of using LinkedIn. And then all I got to do is go on here to this AI thing and say expand post. And it will write me that entire post for me.
And then you just review it, clean it up a little bit.
So let's go with that, right?
So what tool is that through?
This is Taplio. And there's a whole bunch of different ones out there. This is just the one that I use. So let's say that I wanted to make this
Why you use it, Ryan, before you get into it? Why do you like Taplio? Because you're obviously
cost and the amount of features that you have. So it's the cost and the amount of features that's what I got. So this just wrote LinkedIn's value, blah, 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 everything else like that. Well, this is a little long and it's not really what I'm going for. So let's make it a little shorter. It'll rewrite it so it's shorter. And you know what? I want to be a little more casual with it. So I'm going to rewrite it one more time so it's a little more casual. And then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to do this, and it's going to copy edit post. Oh, just copy. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to put the content back into here. Okay. That's not working the way it's supposed to. So I'll just copy it that way. So button, you're supposed to just hit insert. It's supposed to insert, but no big deal. All right, and then let's see also, you know what? I also want to create an image for this. So I can do it that way, or what I can do is I can go back into my AI here, and I can also create a CTA, and somewhere in here it allows me to create an image. Where does it let me create the image? I think it's in the advanced options. No, I can auto plug it. I can auto DM it. These are things you guys will learn once you get into it. But let's just say I want to add a GIF and I want it to be a LinkedIn superhero.
Can't believe you passed on Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, right, I can do that, right? But I can sit here and I can scroll through all this different stuff. Let's say we're just going to pick Grover. Oh, there it is, generate with AI. So I can sit there and I can put that GIF into my post. And then all I got to do is hit schedule. And I have a schedule set up, so it will dump it into the next slot that's available in my schedule. So again, that took me to write that post, took me a minute, add an image to it, and boom, I'm done.
I know.
So there's just a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. Is it the action library that does it? Something like that. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the tools that are out there because I went over a lot of different stuff of you should do this, and like, I have a job. I can't do all that. But if you took an hour a month out of your schedule, you could set the whole thing up for a month. And then the other cool thing about this Taplio is they also have what's called Engage, right? So what this Engage does is it goes out and it finds the best posts for that day, for that week, whatever it is, that I should be engaging with, I should be commenting on. So there's 50 posts that it came up with me, and I can look through these and go, okay, and I can actually just put my comments right in here. Oh, and by the way, I can generate it with AI as well, the comment that I want to do, and then hit reply, and it'll automatically reply on LinkedIn. So it's just really, really, really cool tools that you can use. And then even on your profile, which I have it turned off on mine right now, it integrates right in your profile to show how many followers you've gotten in the last 30 days, any of your recent hits on people in your network, so you can also reply to them right in here, right in your LinkedIn profile. It builds it right into your LinkedIn profile. So, if I've blown your mind a little, that was the goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Questions? Yeah,
Oh yeah, what do you got?
I got a couple.
I got answers.
All right, so, just on what we're here right now, when I was taught, I had a very brief intro to LinkedIn a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was all about hashtags. Do you still have to use hashtags? Does the AI chat put in?
Think of a hashtag as a keyword, and yes, it will.
Okay.
Especially if you ask it, add hashtags.
Okay.
But hashtags, think of those as keywords, right? So like manufacturing in the USA. If I look up that one, I'm going to get all these posts that are manufactured in the USA. We do a hashtag that's USCO Cranes. So if you put in hashtag USCO Cranes and search that, you'll get every post that ever had USCO Cranes on it. So what it is, it's a keyword identifier.
Okay.
That's essentially how it works. It doesn't bring people to your site unless they search that or click on that particular hashtag.
Because they get to click on the hashtag.
Right, exactly.
Premium services, what do you suggest?
The only thing that I do is Sales Navigator.
You do.
And with my salespeople, they have Sales Navigator. Because it's essentially a very targeted platform for the people they want to go after. And we do two things. We contact them through LinkedIn, but then we also call them on the phone, send them an email, go to their plant, that kind of thing. So you don't have to just contact them on the platform that you found them on, right? There's other ways you can do that. And we also use that to generate leads for our distributors.
For you, what else?
Our distributors,
Okay.
because we go to market through distribution. So, any other? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
All right, now, through all this, somehow I posted some stuff, did a few things, all of a sudden I was a content creator? The hell is that? And are you one? And
Yes, I'm definitely a content creator.
Ed, you're going viral.
I don't know how it happened, all of a sudden,
We can see it
now I got people following my, if I post something or
That's good.
I know, but, so you are, when you start doing this, you sort of just automatically.
I have almost 6,000 followers now, and people that just a lot of people get their Fox News through me
Okay, all right.
and Wall Street Journal.
And then we haven't touched on it, so, but if you're okay to share,
Yeah,
measurables. So you've been doing this obviously for a while.
yeah.
Has it actually, what has it translated for you? Is it,
I would say LinkedIn has now translated for me into about $6 million worth of business.
okay.
So,
Our two of our largest distributors that we now have, we got through LinkedIn.
piggybacking off of that one, there's not a lot of middle market business owners that are on LinkedIn. You're very active on it and would be considered one of those. Al's on there, I see you as well. But being in the position that we are, we want to look for them, and it's very hard to find them. What's going to entice other business owners to get on there? Because that's enticing, but I don't think anybody knows that the 6 million over the time.
What's going to entice other business owners to get on there?
Yeah.
Well, first they got to get in the 21st century. We're talking about Biden, we're still in the 20th century, so we just got to get in the 21st century, right? And I don't know what gets them out of pen and paper and the phone book that gets them onto here. I think coming to presentations like this, like one of the things that me and Marcel were talking about is he's captured all my audio and we have the slides. So we can send this out to people that want to see it or put it out there as a webinar later for the CAIC, or if anybody here wants it, they can have it and, give it to their industry peers and that kind of thing. Absolutely. But I mean, to tell you the truth, until somebody just understands the value of it, they're not going to understand the value of it.
Well, even a LinkedIn Navigator and the Taplio is significantly less expensive than a full-time marketer who you would just potentially hire.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I think I pay $580 a year for Taplio, and I pay $19 a month for Sales Navigator. So we're not, yeah, 19.
Damn.
What do you
It was
pay?
up at like 79 at one time. When I got put on it through the bank, it was like 79 a month.
Now, using something like Taplio or using other tools, they will charge you a lot more if you're going for more in-mails.
Oh.
And in-mails are when you're trying to reach out to people that are not in your first, second, or third tier of network.
I was doing that.
So if you're doing that, that's way more expensive.
Okay.
But there's so many better tools now that doesn't cost you that and that's why you want to make as many connections as you can, because if they're in their second tier or their third tier, they're now in yours. And you can reach out to them just through the messaging or stuff, and it doesn't cost you anything.
So what if you get a request from somebody in California, now, right, you sell probably all over.
We do, yeah.
But that is, you wouldn't feel that they're related to what you're doing at all.
But you don't know if somebody in California knows somebody around you,
Okay.
right? So I would still do that. Or what if that California company eventually makes a Chicago location?
Well, let's put it this way, let's say they're in a field where they want to sell to you, and.
I ignore a lot of those.
Okay. That's what I'm saying, you get so many of them after a while.
You want to build a valuable network, right? So I ignore those types of ones all the time, and it's like a spam call or somebody calling you on the phone. That's the same type of thing. But what you want to do is that's why you want to go into those 250 that you have with your company and that kind of stuff, because those are qualified contacts that you want to be in front of your page, right? That type of thing. And you also want to sit there and you want to look for people that you want to connect with in your own feed as well. Yeah. So no, you want to build a valuable network. You don't want to just build a network. Unless you're that type of individual who's trying to sell to anybody, then that makes sense. But if you've got specific industries that you're going after, then you want to make sure your contacts say that. So I've got 6,000 followers, connections and followers and stuff, but I've said no to probably thousands at this point, right? So those are people that are qualified, that are in the industrial space, that make sense for what it is that I'm doing, and some bankers.
And I'm not a banker anymore, just want to let you know. Hey, you gotta do something when you run in late.
If anybody has any questions or things, or they want access to tools or whatnot, I'm obviously sticking around as well, so feel free to talk to me a little bit more. Thank you again very much for coming. I really appreciate it.